Hey guys, welcome to another video. Right now on the screen there are links to other videos and my other guides that go into a bit more depth, because in this video we're mostly going to talk about talents and glyphs, you know, all the essentials you're going to need before you start learning more advanced things. And I'm going to attempt to cover like individual things like rotation very briefly, not in a massive amount of detail, but just enough for you to know, just to get started. So if you just stay learning DK right now, doing some background, time some gear, just watch this video. This is going to help you just learn the basics so you don't look like an idiot, basically. Okay, let's get straight into talents. There are obviously tiers of an option of 3, and the talents, some tiers are optional, some are absolutely required, like because all the other talents are basically crap. So the first tier is pretty much an option of 2 for Unholy Death Knight. Okay, Rolling Blood. Well, it spreads your diseases. This is great for you know, like raid battlegrounds to spread diseases if you ever need to. You know, it's good for AoE pressure, but the thing is, really you want to focus more on single target pressure, and that's why Plague Leech is really good. I find it's really good because well, it gives you 2 death runes, right, from 2 that are off the cooldown. So that's really good. I mean, you're doing a lot of stuff rapidly. And yeah, there is a drawback, you know, it gets rid of your diseases, but as Unholy, you it's pretty easy to get the diseases back on, because if you Skirt Strike, there you go, the diseases are back there. So I don't find that an issue. Okay, the second tier, this is not optional. Go for Lichborne. Okay, it is a much better heal, and your strength determines the amount that Death Coil does damage, the same as it does healing. So the more strength you have, like from buffs and stuff, Death Coil is going to heal you more. Great. Awesome heal. Antimagic Zone's crap, Purgatory's crap, PvE things, okay, don't focus about them. Okay, the third tier is very optional. All of these are very viable. Death's Advance is awesome. Really good for increasing your speed. It basically stops you from getting snared below 70%, which is also an advantage. When it stacks in Unholy Presence gives you 15% extra movement speed. Death's Advance, excuse me, gives you an extra 10% passively. But when you use it, it gives you an extra 30%, I think. Yes, it gives you an extra 30%, and that is pretty fast. Okay, you are pretty unstoppable. But the thing is, sometimes I don't like to sacrifice the other talents, like Asphyxiate, really great stun, really short cooldown, which is great if you need to be crowd controlling a lot. You know, obviously it depends which arena comp you're against. The only drawback of Asphyxiate is it has a conflict with a diminishing return of Ignore, which is another stun. Chill Beans is great for against, like, in battlegrounds or raid battlegrounds, because spreading, in my eyes, spreading a 50% slow to everybody in a raid is going to weaken them quite a lot. So very versatile challenge choice. I don't go for Death Advance as much as I go for Asphyxiate and Chill Beans. Actually, ooh, it's just so tough. Maybe you want to use Chillbanes against melee comps, okay? But it's really tough. It's just more preference. Whatever you find preference. I'm not going to tell you what to go for, but I am going to tell you if you go for Death Pact in the 4th tier, especially if you're against burst comps. If you're against a team that bursts a lot, you know, like Mage, Hunter, Death Pact, you have to have Death Pact. It's a really quick heal. Whereas Conversion is a sustained heal. I mean, yeah, it's cool because it's infinite, but it's slow, and it ruins your runic power still a bit. I mean, if it didn't cost runic power, then I would quite like it. But yeah, it's still a bit bad. But when you're against like slow dot cleaves, then it's actually really helpful to keep the Conversion on yourself. Just remember, when you're in Blood Presence, these abilities will heal more because it's based on your percentage of your maximum health. When you've got maximum health, you'll heal more. Death Siphon, load of crap, it's for leveling. Okay, let's just put it that way. Blood Tap, absolutely no choice here, just go for Blood Tap. Yeah, just Blood Tap. Go find Grasp. Use this for rated battlegrounds, because what it does, it grips a load of people towards your position. And got macros in the description, that's really good for doing that. And actually, check out my macro video as well. Remorse Winter is a bit crap because everybody really knows how to counter this now. Everyone knows how to get rid of it. However, you might still find it helpful for melee comps and freeze. Desecrated Ground is awesome. It's like an extra trinket. Really helpful in all situations. It's definitely recommend that, because when you have that, we have Icebound Fortitude to get out of stuns, Lichborne to get out of fears and charms. We've got Trinket to get out of everything, Desecrated Ground to get out of everything except for snares. That's quite a lot. You know, there's quite a lot ways to get out of crowd control on us, which means more or less we're crowd controlled and more we're killing things. Okay, so let's move on to glyphs. Most glyphs are really optional and it's more based on preference. However, I find more glyphs useful in different situations. Like for example, I really find the extra 5 yard on death grip, on really helpful for rated battlegrounds. Very helpful. I think that's an absolute must for rated battlegrounds. And same with Glyphs of Pestilence, because you know you get your diseases a bit further out. It really helps. Glyph of Vice Touch is really good for dispels, but it's really complements an AOE rotation when you're just spamming blood balls and when you're not doing festing strikes. But that's something that's a different point. Dark Simulacrum is a great utility because just increases the chance of you actually stealing spells and increases the amount of spells you steal because it's a shorter cooldown. Great spell. Death and Decay, bit of crap. The slow is helpful, but if you the slow is actually really helpful if you really want to avoid using Chains of Ice, because Chains of Ice really ruins your rotation and your death runes. Glyph of Icebound Fortitude really helpful to get out of stuns, especially if you're going to team that stuns a lot, like a rogue. Okay, that's why I definitely recommend Glyph of Icebound Fortitude against a rogue. Glyph of Mind Freeze is still a bit crap. Outbreak is still a bit crap. Pestilence is what I said about. Shifting Presence is really good because you retain some of really power when you switch in Presence. Switching Presences is a good thing. It's not good anymore in these most recent patches because it nerfs your DPS when you're in Blood Presence quite a lot now. Nevertheless, it's still good. Strangulate. If you're not going for Asphyxiate, I would definitely recommend getting this glyph, because basically when you cast it when the enemy is casting a spell, it will be silence duration increased by 2 seconds. That's really helpful. Okay, the new glyph, which is the only really want to pay attention to, is Glyph of Regenerative Magic. This is really good. Basically, the less damage you absorb when you got AMS up, the less the cooldown is. So you know when you're in those situations where you just want to use AMS to block a polymorph or block an Ice Nova, and basically when it's off and you haven't really absorbed any damage, you feel like it's a bit of a waste, but the cooldown is going to be shorter, so you're going to get your anti-magic shell back up quicker, which is obviously very helpful. The other glyph of anti-magic shell, I wouldn't recommend doing this because when you are in an AMS, people don't really feel it worth to do damage to you, because you know you're going to block 75%, because I don't want to waste a burst on you if you're not going to absorb 75% of the burst, so I won't recommend that glyph. And there isn't really any more really that noticeable. Apart from the fact, is it Resilient Grip? Yeah, Resilient Grip is absolutely most, because sometimes it will return the cooldown of your death grip, and the rest are just like cosmetic and just a bit helpful, really. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about rotation. Well, not really rotation, more of the principles of Death Knight and what you need to remember. Obviously, check out the rotation guide when it is uploaded. So, the idea of a Death Knight is basically health absorb is the main thing that we do, because it provides the most amount of pressure. It's an ability called Necrotic Strike, and it absorbs healing on the target, and you know you can stack that up. You can stack, like, so say the first time you do it's 40k, second time 80k, third time 120k. So you want to, the thing is, the only way to use Necrotic Strikes is to get Death Runes. Okay, so Death Runes are very important. You want to be getting Death Runes up all the time, as much as you can. You want to be getting the Death Runes up like for every 2 times that you use your runes. So you use your normal runes, you get your Death Runes, then you use your Death Runes with Necrotic Strikes, and then you get back to your normal runes, and then you get those normal runes back to Death Runes. So it's like that. So, but the thing is, you don't want to burst your necrotics. I've said that in recent videos. That's not as good. You want to sustain your necrotics. So you put a big stack up, right, and you leave it there, and then you kind of gently reapply more necrotics until a target's dead. Because the problem is with Necrotic Strike, it only lasts 10 seconds. So it can time off, like 400k health up, it can time off in like, you know, in 10 seconds. You're like, oh, that was a bit of a waste. Now I've got no runes left, he's not going to die. You need to apply them quickly first, and then gently after the big stack until he's dead. Meanwhile, we're using Death Coils, using your Scourge Strikes. So there's 2 ways to get Death Runes. The best way is to use 2 Festering Strikes. That's the quickest way. You're going to get a lot of damage out there, and you're going to increase the duration of your diseases. So obviously open with your diseases and do 2 Festering Strikes. So, and then use your Death Coils. The idea I want you to get into your head is Death Knight is a very fast class. Okay, you want to be using your runes as soon as you get them, especially your Unholy runes, right? but you don't want to be spamming the runes endlessly like an idiot. You want to be conscious about what you're doing with your runes. So, and also Death Coils, you don't want to be sitting right on 100 runic power, generating runic power for the runes and not using it. Okay, you want to be using everything as soon as you can, but you need to be conscious about your necrotic strikes. So what I see people doing is not using the unholy runes. I notice I'm doing it myself. To use your unholy runes, do Scourge Strikes and Plague Strikes. You know, Plague Strike's going to get your diseases up. Scourge Strike is actually not a bad amount of damage, and it only costs 1 rune. You also want to save a rune for Dark Transformation when you get it. Okay, so it's important to generate as much runic power as quickly as possible, because when you generate runic power, you get these things called shadow. Hang on, let me just check what they're actually called. Shadow infusions. Okay. Basically, whenever you do a Death Coil. So when you stack 5 of these Shadow Infusions, so basically 5 Death Coils, your pet will get buffed and he will do more damage, and he will get to the point where he will morph into a strange looking disgusting form and do truck loads of damage. I'm just going to display it here. So there you go, my pet just went big and he's doing tons of damage. Really important also to get your Death Coils and stuff up as quick as possible is these things called blood taps. You just see them there. Basically, when you use them, blood tap, you free up a rune. If the rune's off cooldown, you use it frees that rune. It turns into a death rune. So basically, you have more death rune uptime, and death rune uptime is what you really want. So let's just see. Right, I'm gonna put a relatively big stack. Okay, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for my runes. I'm going to use some Scourge Strikes. Okay, imagine it's about time off now. I'm just going to reapply it gently. Right, okay, I've got absolutely no death runes now. I'm going to use Festering Strike. I'm going to use Empire Rune Weapon to get my runes back up as well. I'm just gently. Yeah, I'm not bursting it. I'm popping my cooldowns now. I'm popping my pet. Okay, I still got death runes. I'm going to reapply it there. There we go. It's back up quite a lot. There we go, it's all going. Using my Death Coils as soon as I am. Also using Horn of Wind to generate rune of power. I've got another Death Rune now, I can just use it there. I'm going to use 2 Festering Strikes. I'm going to use my Scourge Strikes while my Festering Strike comes off for cooldown. I'm going to use that. And then, oh yes, just got the stack back up. Okay, I'm now going to wait a bit. I'm going to wait, alright? I'm going to actually wait on my runes now. I'm going to reapply my disease. I'm going to use a Horn of Winter. I'm going to use whatever, my Unholy runes. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to use an Icy Touch to get the last Frost rune into a Death rune. And now I'm just going to gently apply the Necrotics. Okay, get another big stack in. And then I'm going to use a Soul Reaper. Why not? I'm going to use Horn of Winter to get some runic power. And then I'm going to do some more Necrotics. Okay, so basically, you're just trying to keep that Necrotic Strike for as long as amount of time as possible. You don't want to burst it all out as soon as you can and waste it. Okay? And that's pretty much, that is basically it in a nutshell. Okay, check out my single type rotation guide where I'm going to spend about 10 minutes explaining rotation alone. Okay, thanks for watching guys. Ciao, like, and subscribe.